All right, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. You guys know what time it is. We're going to be talking about Jasmy. Looking at the broader market, seems like the bull market is back. You're seeing over the past 1 month, over the past 1 week, and as well as today, you're seeing a lot of green across the board. Bitcoin has gone back above $68,000. A lot of excitement, of course, in the space. And, what is really triggering this? Could this be, the Joe Biden official announcement that, he is stepping down? Possibly. Because, of course, the other candidate, which is Donald Trump, he is pro-Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And obviously that could be, a leading factor as we are seeing Bitcoin breaking out once again. But let me know your personal thoughts down below. But so far, so good. Bitcoin is sitting above my confirmation level, which was at $64,000. So we'll definitely take that. But let's take a look at what's happening with Jasmy. A lot of requests about Jasmy. I try my best to give you guys these updates on a day-to-day basis, but, I'm trying my best. If you guys appreciate that, the best way to, let me know that you enjoy and you appreciate my content is by just smashing that like button and hitting that red subscribe button. It goes a long way and I would appreciate that. But anyhow, if you're looking at Jasmy up 1.9% on the daily time frame, and on the weekly time frame it's up 23.1%. But let's take a closer look and see what we're looking at in terms of its price. Before I get into that, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So looking at the price of Jasmy right now, it's currently sitting at 3.03 cents, up 2% over the past 24 hours in USD comparative, as mentioned, and about 1.4% in Ethereum comparative. But let's take a closer look and see what we're looking at in terms of market valuation. It's approaching $1.5 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about 98.4 million. Not bad. But let's continue to take a look at what we're looking at. So as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So dominance index is pretty much hanging around where it was yesterday, around 55.4%. But in return, what did change this time around is that Bitcoin actually went up, and Bitcoin broke out of $68,000. Obviously we're seeing a little bit of a rejection around that, but pretty much you're sitting at $68,000 as of recording this update. And in the next hour and a half, we do see the daily candle close. And if the daily candle close for Bitcoin is able to close above $68,000, I project that this upcoming week we could even see a $70,000 Bitcoin once again. So that would be obviously insane to see. But with that said, let's take a look at what we're noticing with Jasmy. What kind of trend are we noticing? Because of course, a lot of people are interested to know when. And I get this question so much. When are we going to see Jasmy hit 5 cents? And when are we going to see Jasmy hit 10 cents? I've said this on my channel countless of times. Forget about that, guys. You need to take it one step at a time. It's going to be baby steps. On my channel, I don't like talking about, higher targets until, we reach the major key resistances. So as of now, what your main focus should be on is this 5 cents resistance, and right now we're within that range. So first and foremost, we only focus on here, and then we focus on higher targets, because let's face it, if this is able to break out this 5 cents, the importance of this is, if once it breaks out, this would be the first time since, literally, hear this out, since January of 2022 that the price of Jasmy would be back above this level. That is huge. So let's take a look at what we're looking at with Jasmy right now. So we saw Jazz go all the way up on July 16 to the 3.2 cents. Very, very impressive. But since then, you're seeing a little bit of, a consolidation. You're not seeing that breakout happening that a lot of people want. But why is that? Why is that the case? Number one, a lot of resistance at that range. And on top of that, the overall buying pressure for Jasmy, believe it or not, is not as high as you guys might think right now. But that can change in a snap of a finger. So that isn't a huge thing to worry about, because in terms of hype factor, it's still there. Obviously, after that announcement came out from Apple, at that time, everyone was super excited. Everyone was FOMOing into Jasmy. That has kind of changed. That has kind of slowed down, believe it or not. I know a lot of people don't like accepting that fact, but let me tell you, I will tell you straight up that that has changed. At that time compared to now, the hype factor, the FOMO feeling compared to then to now has, been much lower. So that is something that you need to accept if you are part of the Jasmy community. But nonetheless, you still saw Jasmy go up 68%, guys. So before anyone comes out and makes some sort of negative comments regarding Jasmy's price action specifically, I really hope you guys are looking at the realistic price movements. Because 68 to 70% move by no means is a small move. That is a substantial move, and people that took advantage of that, I'm sure, are not even questioning that factor. But anyhow, what you're looking at right now is that key resistance around the 3.227 cents resistance. As I've said to you guys before, a very, very important amount of resistance at that point. If we're able to break out of that key resistance, we could make our way all the way up to the 3.7 cents mark to even the 3.8 cents mark quite fast. So that is obviously a plus point, and the chances of that happening are pretty high right now because of the market momentum. What you're noticing is, like I said, a beautiful upwards trajectory forming from this July 5th low. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, but like I said, you need to see the price of Bitcoin really push back above this range. If $70,000 really comes to life, I do project obviously Jasmy to react in a positive way. But you can see this for yourself, 3.2 cents as we retested that is quite a substantial resistance. You can see this for yourself. We have resistance kind of dating back to even the May 30th of this year, when we broke towards all-time highs, and also dates back to, obviously you won't be able to see it on here. If I were to bring the weekly time frame, let's actually actually not the weekly time frame, let's honestly take a look at the daily time frame. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you can see this for yourself. The 3.2 resistance dates back to obviously the early beginnings of Jasmy. But at that time, guys, Jasmy was just completely getting manipulated, and this project was one of the ones that got dumped by the VCs. And I know a lot of people don't like accepting that fact, but let me tell you, that is the truth. The VCs dumped Jasmy last cycle, and if you cannot accept that, well, then you are pretty much, lying to yourself. You do not want to be lying to yourself at the end of the day, because that is the truth. The tokenomics, as I've said to you guys before, were garbage for Jasmy when it came out, but much better tokenomics now. And again, that is a huge plus point in terms of an investor's point of view. If you want to speculate on an asset, if you've done your due diligence research, and on top of that, tokenomics have gotten much better, that again is considered a plus point. And that's what we're noticing right now in terms of, the confidence level in the market. But what you're looking at is that 3.2 cents resistance. If that is able to break out, I do believe you do see a little bit of pickup in the volume, and we could be heading towards that 3.8 cents resistance, which again, if you want to put into perspective right now, is a move of about 3.8 would be a move of about 27.17%. So a huge move, and can happen quite fast for Jasmy, because market valuation for this is around 1.46 billion, and I personally consider this low in this state of the market with this hype factor that it has. But there's a lot of other things aside from the price, behind the scenes for Jasmy that could kind of get better at, and I've said this before on my updates. They need to really ramp up on their marketing, and I think this is going to cost them so much if they don't really work on this. Because why is it taking them so long to kind of make their website look a little nicer? And on top of that, as of now, the roadmap has been announced. They need to really hit the targets on the roadmap, and yeah, that's it. And of course, on the Binance side of things, they need to take the warning sign off of their thing, because they're on the warning side in terms of listing, because what means is that there is a chance of delisting. And if you're getting delisted from the biggest exchange, arguably in cryptocurrency, that could be a huge fact. That could pretty much take your project to zero, and I'm being pretty confident about that. Again, my own personal opinion. I know this is going to trigger a lot of people, but this is my own personal opinion. Let's think about it. Binance comes out and, God forbid, says, hey, you know what, Jasmy is getting delisted. What do you think is going to happen to Jasmy's price? No matter if it's listed on Coinbase or whatever the case may be, if Binance comes out and delists this is going to have, a lifelong, impact on the price in a negative way. Let me know your thoughts down below, and of course, let me know what your personal projections are for Jasmy. Love you all. See you tomorrow in Crypto ZX, and peace out.